This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter, and I'm welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, November the 26th, 1989, what many people consider the greatest CFL Grey Cup game ever happened at the Sky Dome. This was the first time that Toronto's new indoor stadium got to host the Grey Cup. It was once called a modern marvel. Now it's just a relic in some people's eyes. So anyway, Toronto always had to deal with hosting the Grey Cup at the Exhibition Stadium. However, once the Rainbow of '82 happened, with lots of rain and wind and all that, people yelled, "We want a dome stadium." And they listened. Through years of hard work, they got a new stadium and made it built for 1989. And one of the showcases of it would be the Grey Cup, headed to the Sky Dome. Of course, the magical '89 season of the Blue Jays happened when the Blue Jays came from a terrible start that they fired Jimmy Williams for Seattle Gaston. They first passed everybody in the AL East, especially the Baltimore Orioles, who almost had a Cinderella run from worst to first happening and all that. But anyway, so there were a lot of things that happened. So the 1989 season happened. And all that. There were still 8 teams. Top 3 would move on to the playoffs and all that. So Winnipeg went into Toronto to face the Argonauts, and the Argos were hoping for a win on home turf to get to the Eastern Final in Hamilton. But Winnipeg shocked Toronto 30-7. They would then move on. Winnipeg would move on to Hamilton to play for the chance to go to the Grey Cup. But sadly, though, Hamilton defeated Winnipeg to move on to the Grey Cup Finals. Hamilton was 12-6. They seemed good. The other 3 teams in the East, Toronto, Winnipeg, and Ottawa, didn't even get to 500. So Hamilton was the class of it. Subsequently, the Edmonton Eskimos, the 1989 Edmonton Eskimos were dominant, 16-2. They waited on the Western semifinal, which saw Saskatchewan go into Calgary and beat the Stamps by a touchdown. Saski would go to Edmonton, and Edmonton thought they would have an easy win over Saski and probably crush Hamilton to become one of the greatest CFL teams of all time. But by some strange thing, Saskatchewan won 32-21, shocking everybody in the process, and then setting up this Grey Cup matchup between the Argos. At Argos Stadium between Saski and Hamilton. Saskatchewan was 9-9 in the regular season. Hamilton was 12-6. So it was amazing and all that. Hamilton had a lot of people believing in them. Hamilton picked up a pair of field goals to go up 6-0. Hamilton would get a touchdown pass from Mike Kerrigan to Tony Champion to make it 13-1. Remember the name Tony Champion. I'll talk about him later. So Hamilton looked good, up 13-1. However, Saski came back with a touchdown pass from Ken Austin at Ray Elgard. Kerrigan threw a touchdown pass. Then Austin threw a touchdown pass to Fairholm to make it 20-15. Hamilton then got a touchdown run from McAdoo. And then Don Narcisse got a touchdown catch from Ken Austin to make it 27-22 Hamilton. One of the best matchups of all time, if you will. Very high scoring. Into the third quarter we go. After a pair of field goals and a safety, Hamilton was up 30-27. But Saski came back with a touchdown run by McRae, make it 34-30. And for the first time, Saskatchewan had the lead. Then the teams traded field goals to make it 40-33. And with under a minute left, Hamilton needed something. They needed a touchdown to tie. And after a methodical drive, Mike Kerrigan, the star from Northwestern, marched his team down the field and threw an incredible touchdown to Tony Champion. But What made it much better was Tony Champion's twisting acrobatic catch in the end zone to catch the ball with under a minute left in the game. It was like one of the most craziest catches of all time. If you watch it on YouTube, you gotta like how Tony Champion made that catch. One of the best catches in Grey Cup history. Not the greatest, but like very good. So Saskatchewan still had a chance with the ball. Kent Austin would do a methodical drive, throwing three passes for 48 yards. So the ball was at the 26-yard line for Hamilton. And it would be a 33-yard field goal. Now you'd be thinking, wait a minute, wouldn't it be 43? Because if you do the number 10 plus 7. However, the CFL puts their goalpost on the end line, whereas the NFL, it's at the back of the end zone. So anyway, Hamilton, so it would be a 33-yard field goal. And, Hamilton tried to freeze the great Dave Ridgway, but Ridgway was not fooled. And he would kick through the uprights, give Saskatchewan its first Grey Cup since 1966, and Saskatchewan won the game. It was one of the best plays of all time. So anyway, Saskatchewan won. It was amazing. Over 18,000 fans showed up at Taylor Field in minus 10-degree weather to welcome back the club. However, there was one tiny little problem, though. Even though Saskatchewan won the Grey Cup, it came at a cost. It was revealed that the championship run actually nearly bankrupted the team. Saskatchewan looked good. Instead, they had an $85,000 profit, right? Wrongo. It would actually be a minus $195,000 due to the fact that Saskatchewan played 3 tough road games and all that. They had to go to Calgary to beat Calgary, to get to the Western Final, to face Edmonton. They shocked the 16-2 Eskimos, and then they went kind of a road game in Toronto against the Tiger Cats. So the Riders lost $195,000 and all that. However, GM Al Ford said that the team's debt increased to 1.6 million Canadian, which seems to be decent at this time of year. But remember, this is 3 decades ago. I think inflation would be like, what, 2 million, I think? Something like that, 2.5? But yeah, Saskatchewan, that's shocking how, you win the Grey Cup and then you find out you lost $195,000. That just shouldn't happen. Thankfully, though, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, they can't do any of that Grey Cup. Anyway, it was one of the greatest Grey Cups ever. Fight me on it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.